This video is sponsored by Glass. Simple, elegant photo sharing for iOS and the web with no ads or algorithms. Join the Glass community today and get $10 off an annual membership using the link in the video description. Glass, your home for photography. Wow, it is bright and very hot. 97 degrees out here. I decided to start my hike a little bit early today because I wanted to not feel quite so rushed getting into the dunes and trying to find a composition. I wanted to, kind of take my time, but I am doing my best to stay hydrated and keep myself together. So I have hiked into an area of the dune field back here that is just absolutely pristine, absolutely untouched. There is no footprints that I can see on them at all. And the funny thing is that when I turned on Gaia GPS, which is the mobile app that I use to leave digital breadcrumbs and to track my coordinates, I noticed that I had left a pin right out there, maybe 1,000 feet or so that way. And I left it back in 2018, which was 4 years ago. It may be something, I'm honestly not sure. And the funny thing about these dunes is that, of course, them being sand dunes, I mean, they can and will change, with the weather and the wind and gypsum blowing around, and whatever it was that caught my eye may be gone now. I have no idea. Oh, wow. So this is what I'm talking about over here. Beautiful line, just gorgeous sand dune with this ebb and flow and this line that's continuing up and over the top of the dune over here and then cascading down here to the left side. I'm almost, I'm not almost, I am afraid to get too close to it because sometimes what happens with sand dunes is it's really an impulsive thing to make you just want to run right up to it and take a wide angle shot or something, and then you just end up leaving footprints right up to your subject. So it's better always to stand back and to use like a telephoto lens at first, and then if you need to, and then if you want to get some different shots to shoot your way in. Start out and then shoot your way in, so that way the ground is always clear in front of you, and you're not having to mess around in Photoshop thereafter and be cloning stuff out. Anyway, just beautiful, beautiful lines, beautiful patterns. Really, really nice. So one of the things that I'm testing out on this trip, and I'm not sure if I'm actually if I'm actually even allowed to even be talking about these right now, but if I am, and if these are live and you can learn more about them, I'll put a link down below in the video description. But anyway, these are some new magnetic filters that have been sent to me, and the interesting thing about them is that they're all different colors. And like the one in my hand right now, this is a 8-stop, I think, and it's gold, and then there's cyan and red and purple and silver and all these different colors, so that when you're digging in your bag and you're trying to find a particular filter, you don't have to look at the engraving on the outside of the small type engraved on the outside of it to figure out which filter is which. After a while, I guess you just learn what the colors are, and you know exactly which one to reach for. Wow, this is like the most gorgeous time of the evening. This is just amazing at this point. We get this beautiful lavender in the sky. Actually, before I forget, I need to keep pressing on the shutter here. Oh man, this is just so awesome. Beautiful. Hopefully this is coming through right now. Beautiful, soft light, absolutely perfect. with this gorgeous deep blue and purples, little bit of orange and magenta out there on the horizon. And it is, yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good about this. I may need to pitch the camera a little bit higher. But anyway, right now, the gypsum is just, it's lost all of that like really harsh light. When the harsh light is hitting it, like in the mid-afternoon, you can't see any of the texture. It just, and it's just blinding. It's like, hiking through snow. But then at this point, it gets really soft and, oh, man. Oh, I love these colors. I just love the white. These just beautiful lines and shapes and forms here. And this gorgeous purple out here on the horizon. This is the kind of thing that a lot of times, like in Lightroom, like I would, skew the blues like a little more towards the purples and the magentas just to make them a bit richer. You don't need any of that right now. This is all perfectly natural. This is 100% organic, as they would say. Absolutely perfect. Oh, and the light is, it's like filling in some of these harsh shadows over here on the side. And just looks beautiful. So anyway, I'm, again, shooting with this 8-stop filter right now to slow down the clouds a little bit. And we'll see how this goes. But I need to, God, I think a bug flew into my mouth. Anyway, I need to focus on this for a minute. I want to take a few more images here, and then I'll put the images up here so you can check them out. Oh, God. Got some sand in my eye, I think, or rather, I guess it's gypsum, not really sand. Oh, man, it stings. Anyway, let me show you what I'm photographing here. So I'm shooting up this flat area here in between the dunes, and there's just this really lovely curvature and this line that's just in these dunes that are just kind of ebbing and flowing around this flat. And it's really beautiful because we have this large mound of gypsum right here in the foreground. And the line just continues straight on through the frame, beginning up here in the upper left-hand corner, and then just continuing down and through the center. It's like this repeating pattern, this stair-step pattern that is just disappearing off into the distance, into the horizon with the mountains in the back. The sun is almost below the mountains right now. And so the light right now is just kind of soft and it's okay, but my hope is that once it starts to get a little bit lower, it's going to start kicking some color back around here to the north, and we're going to start getting some purples and some blues and some magentas over here on the horizon, and maybe some of that light, or rather that color, will also bounce off the atmosphere, and then the gypsum down below will reflect it, and it'll pick up some of that hue. So I'm hoping that this line of these dunes just leads the eye back into this band of color into the back of the frame. At least that's what I guess I can stop recording this now. At least that's what I'm hoping is going to happen here. But of course, you never know exactly what the light is going to do, or what the light has planned for you. Oh man, I'm feeling pretty good about this shot here. I finished up down there. The light was getting too soft where I was shooting before, and I decided to hike around a little bit and see what else I could find before the light was completely gone. I'm focus stacking the hell out of this image because I'm not exactly, I don't want to be, anyway, I just don't want to leave anything to chance. So let me show you what I'm shooting here. So I started hiking around a little bit and I found this tall dune here completely untouched. No one has been up here at all. And it has just this sharp, razor thin line, this beautiful crest line that's just running right on down through the frame and out and around this way. And then you have obviously the dunes beyond that, and then the mountains in the background. So right now I am like, let's see if you can actually see this thing. So I'm like focus stacking like down here, focus stacking here, focusing on the mountains as well, and you know, just focus stacking the fool out of it, because just want to make sure that, you know, that I actually get the shot. Really beautiful. Just razor thin edge, just running right through the landscape here and up and over the top of that dune. What I love is that with the sun setting in the west over here, there's this gorgeous kind of like, I don't know what you would call it. It's almost like, I almost imagine it being like a catcher's mitt or something. Like it's almost like this, this flat area right here in the center of the curve where the light is just reflecting right off of that flat sand right there on the edge of all this texture that's been created by the wind on the other side. So we have this beautiful contrast of not just contrast with the light itself, but also contrast in texture as well. And from where I'm standing right here and looking at it, and possibly on video right now too, it kind of feels like either the mountains need to be taller or the dune needs to be taller, because you don't want the lines just to kind of, you know, run right into each other, because then when that happens, then you lose depth in the image. Then the image doesn't appear as deep. I mean, I can tell it's deep just by looking at it with, you know, my own two eyes, as it is with, you know, with human vision. You're able to discern depth naturally. But when it comes to a flat 2D photographic image, those lines layer on top of one another. Just imagine all of this just being compressed together and all those lines overlapping. And that's what you don't want, is for them to be touching each other. You want there to be some gap, some buffer in between them, so that there is at least some visual space between them. Because I have created so many images that I've lived to regret, that have good color, good composition, but I failed to notice how the lines were intersecting and touching one another. So, the way I'm looking at this, I'm thinking the best image may be from down here, because then the line of the dune is above the mountain range. So probably gonna end up shooting low, shooting wide, in order to get some of the texture of the foreground here. And, and now at this point, it's just a matter of waiting on the sun to do its thing, waiting for it to get a little bit lower. Well, guess it's time to drink some water and think about this a little bit longer, and then hopefully get some good images. love about this dune here, I mean, look at all like all the little ridges and all the little folds in that edge, you know, going up. It's just this beautiful texture. Absolutely beautiful organic shapes that, of course, I'm like stepping all over now. But, you know, all it will take is just, you know, more wind, and eventually all this will get covered up and blown away. And it'll be good as new again for someone else to come along and photograph it, perhaps. This is such a remarkable landscape. This is such a beautiful place. And actually, I was doing some reading about it not that long ago, and I remember reading that this place was almost turned into, this place was almost mined for gypsum, like back in the early 20th century. They were proposing, you know, basically come in and dig it all up and sell it. But it turns out that apparently gypsum is not a particularly valuable commodity. You know, that never happened. But once they figured out there was no value in the gypsum, well, they eventually turned it into a recreational area, into a park. And it wasn't until just a few years ago that this actually became a national park. It was what's called a national monument before. But yeah, that's part of the story. But the story here is actually far more ancient than that. I mean, this actually used to be the bottom of the ocean back when the sea used to come this far into North America. Everything here used to be the bottom of the ocean, which is pretty wild to think about. And I've read some things about them finding like some of the oldest footprints of human beings anywhere in North America here, back when there actually used to be water here, and which is pretty wild to think about. And in a way, it does kind of almost, it does look like water, doesn't it? I mean, you almost feel like you're out here on the ocean with all these undulating waves all over the place, and it's just a different kind of wave. Well, I think that is about the end of the day. I think that about does it for today. I think it's about time for me to put this on and start hiking back.